No, we'll kick this thing off officially. My name is Trevor McSpadden with the Minnesota Music Coalition. Glad to see quite a few folks joining us, and hopefully I'll admit some more people from the waiting room as we go. Thanks to Melanie from Bandzoogle for joining us live from Ottawa. And happy to talk about best practices for music related websites. And yeah, I'll turn it over to you, Melanie. Thanks for being here and looking forward to it.
Yeah, thanks for having me. You can hear me?
Yes.
Great. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. My name is Melanie. I'm the communications manager at website platform Bandzoogle. And it's really great to be here today to talk to you about building a website for your music. Right off the bat, a lot of people ask if musicians still use websites, if a musician really still needs a website in this day and age with so many online options to promote your music, build a following. But with all the social media channels, all the streaming options out there now, there's also a lot of distractions. There's a lot of noise, plus you have your different audiences on each platform. So a dedicated website can, and really it should be your main hub as a musician online. You can direct all of your followers and fans there for more in-depth content. You can build your mailing list and promote or sell your music there as well. So if you're planning to enhance your online presence as a musician, maybe getting back into performing, maybe you teach music or do session work, a website is a really great tool to show people that you're serious. Today, I'm going to talk a bit about Bandzoogle, what we do, and then we'll go over some best practices, reasons for creating a website, and then I'm going to get into how to build out your website page by page to show you what kind of content you might want to include. At the end, we'll cover a few search engine tips just to explain a bit about how websites will rank in Google. So I'm just going to make sure I can share my screen here. Here we go. And yeah, I just want to say too, if there's questions, I'm happy to answer them. You can pop a note in the comments on the side. I think we'll get to them at the end, unless you have something really pressing. Feel free to ask, and I'll try my best to answer it. So we're talking about websites for musicians today. That's what we do at Bandzoogle. We're a website and direct-to-fan marketing platform. You can use Bandzoogle to easily build a website for your music. There's no coding knowledge necessary on your part. We also include a domain name and website hosting. So if you sign up with Bandzoogle, you can register a .com address, or perhaps you already own one. Maybe you already have a website, you want to rebuild it with us to use the features, you can move that over as well. And hosting is included in all of our website plans. So the features that we offer include music players, of course, for musicians, where you can stream your songs. You can offer free downloads to your fans. You can sell your music or your albums or your singles commission free. You can also set a price for any of these things, or you can let your fans pay what they want. Essentially, they set the price on purchase. You can add lyrics into your music players, and we support different file types. So MP3, WAV, depending on your needs and what you want to have on your website. To help quickly build your website, you can import music from SoundCloud if you have an account there. You can also set up album pre-orders on your website. And sales are reported to SoundScan if that's important to you on our Pro plan. We also include a robust calendar feature, which you can use to sell tickets to shows, perhaps live streams. All sales are commission free. Into your calendar, you can add custom images, like a show poster, for example. And these events are shareable across social media, email. We'll generate a link for you to share. You can also recurring events if you have, a residency gig or something like that. And you can include multiple calendars across your website to highlight different dates. So, a local shows calendar plus a touring calendar, or maybe you're a music teacher and you want to have your lessons on one calendar, that sort of thing. We have a mailing list feature built in under the hood, which you can use to collect emails on your website directly and then send out newsletters to your list. You can schedule your emails. We include some analytics. If you already have an email list, you can import it. And likewise, if you choose not to use Bandzoogle anymore, you can export that list that you've collected. Our commission-free store is a really popular feature. Musicians sell a ton of stuff through their Bandzoogle websites: CDs, vinyl, t-shirts, all kinds of band merch, hats, a lot of digital files lately, such as videos, sheet music, lyric books. You can also add discount codes in your store. You can set items on sale. And with the Pro plan, you can set up inventory tracking if you want to sell limited edition items through your store. This is one of our newer features, print on demand. You can connect your store to Printful, which imports items that you have created in Printful. Printful is a drop shipping service that will send items out for you. So you don't have to go to the mailbox anymore. You don't have to send the inventory at home and send it out. And it's integrated right with your Bandzoogle store. So you could have your CDs, your vinyl, plus your Printful items like t-shirts, tank tops, and that sort of thing. Oh, here we go. This is just a quick example of a Printful store. You can see a musician can upload their logo, create items in Printful, and then they get shipped out on purchase. We also include a tip jar, which was pretty popular, especially in early to mid 2020 and throughout. Fans were going online, supporting musicians. You can add an image. And you can connect your tip jar to PayPal or Stripe. So any donations that are made through your tip jar on your website, they don't go through Bandzoogle. They go directly from your website into your PayPal account, or with Stripe, it goes right into your bank account. We also have a commission-free crowdfunding preset template, which you can use to set up pre-orders. So for example, if you're trying to raise money for an album, an EP, or a video, you can set up bundles. You can allow your fans to purchase them and then fulfill them when your album is complete and you raise the money. You can set up experiences, merch bundles, a straight donation, and you can also keep fans up to date through Bandzoogle with the email and blog tools that are included. We also offer fan subscriptions. This has grown in popularity over the last couple of years as well. We've seen some musicians create this sort of fan community through their websites where people will subscribe monthly. You can offer different tiers of subscription perks. Fans will pay monthly and they get access to exclusive content in return. You can message your subscribers regularly using built-in mailing list tools. And you also receive detailed data on subscribers and the sales that you've made to date. Our musician members have made 90 million since we've been tracking in commission-free sales. We don't take a cut of any sales, and our musicians have really been selling a ton, especially over the last couple of years, which is great to see. Design options. This is where a lot of musicians get tripped up trying to create a look that really suits their music, especially if you don't know how to add code. We offer over 100 mobile-ready themes. You can grab one and customize it. We have a point-and-click editor that's very easy to use. You can add different colors, update the fonts, move the images around. And we also include preset pages. So again, if you're starting a website, you don't really know where to begin, you get in there under the hood and you choose the kind of pages you would like to add: a music page, an EPK, a bio page, and we'll set it up with suggested features for you, which you can just populate with your content. Of course, you can build from scratch completely as well. Another feature that's very popular is fan data. We have stats built into Bandzoogle, or you can connect with your Google Analytics account if you already collect fan data on your website. This just presents it to you in a way that's easy to see. Visitors, visitor length, their location, what they're doing on your website, what songs they're listening to, what pages they're visiting, the search terms they used to reach your website. You can quickly connect to a bunch of different services to build your website. And this all sounds like a lot, but we have musician-friendly support. Our support team is amazing. They offer support 7 days a week through email and live chat. And most of them are musicians as well, so they get it. Most of them have their own websites on Bandzoogle that they use to, book shows and that. Our support's really great. Trust me, if you're thinking about signing up, definitely reach out to them and they will help you through it if you need it. If you don't have a website, or if you do and you would like to try Bandzoogle, we've got this promo code for you, Minnesota Music. This will get you a 3-month free trial. During that time, you can build out your website. And then if you decide to upgrade to a paid plan, that will get you 15% off the first year. So now we'll start talking about websites, best practices, how exactly you're going to want to build your website to make it the best it can be. So there are 4 main reasons you want to drive fans to your website instead of social media, let's say. The first reason is that you own the address, the .com address. You're always going to be there. Someone's always going to be able to Google you, find you there. That's where you are, your professional home online. And along with that, you own the experience. There's no ads, there's no cat videos. You can design it exactly as you like and change the content regularly. You're putting this experience forward for your fans with your own website. And you own the data. So as we looked at, you can see where your fans are from. You can see where they're coming from, Facebook, Spotify, and that sort of thing, which might help inform you where you should be putting your marketing efforts. Plus, you earn more money by selling directly through your website. So when you're creating a website, there's 3 audiences that you want to keep in mind: your potential fans, your current fans, plus industry and the media. So everything you do on your website will sort of be informed by these audiences, the people who you're hoping to visit your website. For potential fans, you want to make sure that they know who you are. In order to do that, you want to put your best song or perhaps your best video right up front. And you want to try to get them on your mailing list. A mailing list is probably the most important way to keep in touch with these fans. If they sign up to your mailing list, they're interested in your music. Maybe they're going to make a purchase down the road or contribute to your crowdfunding campaign. In order to get potential fans onto your mailing list, you could offer a free track or a discount. Music is always, a good one, or some other exclusive content, perhaps a sample pack, lyrics, depending on who these people are, a download code, just to get them on your list and to keep communicating with them. Now, with your current fans, they're already invested in you. So you want to make sure that you keep up some momentum. You want to make sure they know what's new with your career. And you can do this in the form of news. Blog posts are great, updated photo galleries. You can also inform them when you're releasing new products, when you're doing crowdfunding. These are the people who are going to be there for you. So you want to make sure that they are also on your mailing list. And again, in the first place, get them on your mailing list with free music or content. They're interested, and then you nurture the relationship from there. So with industry and the media, it's a little bit different. You still want to make sure that you have news on your website. You want to show activity, just that you're active in your career. It shows that you care. And you also want to make sure that they know what makes you stand out. Why are you unique? What's different about your music? To do that, you want to make sure your best song or video is easy to see up front. And you'll want to include a press kit. We'll look at press kits a little bit more, but essentially, quickly, on a press kit, you want to include your bio, images, music, video, some quotes, your career highlights to date, and contact information. So that's for industry and the media. Now, when it comes to music website design, as I said, we offer hundreds of templates. And I think there's a little bit of a misconception sometimes that a template is, a box, a cookie cutter format, everyone's looks the same. But the things that developers can do nowadays with code, you can really change it up. You can make it look completely unique within the confines of this template. And the template itself will adapt to mobile. So that's why it's important to use a template. It will resize responsively to any size of tablet or mobile device, which is really important now. Choosing a template can be tricky, especially if you're just starting out. And these are a few things that you'll want to consider when you're trying to pick a template that works for you and looks really professional. Do you have a main image? Is it you with your instrument? What does it look like? Does it show your brand? If you have that sort of show-stopping image, you can use that and work around that with your template. What kind of menu are you going to need? How many pages? How much content do you plan to add? What kind of music do you play? And what is your current branding like? If you're on social media, streaming, what's your story that you're already putting forward, maybe through your live performances? You want to think about all of that and then choose a template that conveys all of that to your audience. So if you're getting started with a music website, if you've never built one before, or if you're trying to, jumpstart your online presence, these are the things that I would suggest you gather up. A main image that really tells your story, some professional photos, which you can use across your website, your best music or your latest music, a video, and you want to write out some text, your bio, and some recent news. When it comes to these photos, you want to make sure you get professional photos. I see some websites sometimes where you can tell that the main image is just a grainy, iPhone snap. It's not quite the same. You want to convey a professional tone, and the best way to do that quickly is with professional images. It's worth the investment in getting some. You can use it for your header images, the background, promotional photos in your EPK, which will be used in multiple places. And you can always reuse professional photos for your social media presence too. Bad photos quickly create a negative impression. So really make sure that your photos show who you are and are crisp and high quality. Now, when it comes to designing your website, once you've chosen your template, you want to stick to 3 main colors. You don't want things to get too busy. So your primary color is your brand color. Often this is a color that is already present in your header image. You can choose that and put that throughout your website, maybe your background color. Then you want a contrasting secondary color and a third color as the accent color. It should complement these other 2 colors, but still stand out. So think the color of your play button or your mailing list sign up button. You want it to be there on the page, look good, but you want people to notice it. Typography is another thing that you want to think about when you're creating a design. You want to avoid wacky fonts. You want to avoid fonts that are completely overused. There's so many options for fonts nowadays that are clean, simple, and you want to make sure there's a high contrast in color between your font and the background. So black on white is the classic example, white on black. You just want to make sure that it's easy to read. You want to use left aligned text generally. You can do some centered text, but it makes websites look a little bit dated. And you want to be sparing as well with bold, italics, and caps. Just use them for emphasis, but in general, you want your text to be simple, plain, and clear. So mobile-friendly websites. Absolutely a best practice is to have a website that flourishes on mobile. I would say more people for sure use their mobile devices than their computers nowadays to browse the web, to listen to music, and to make purchases. So you want to make sure that your website works flawlessly on mobile. People have to be able to find your content, to scroll, to locate the menu. It all has to work on mobile. And in fact, Google's made some changes over the last few years, but they actually boost mobile-friendly website pages. So those will come up better in search with Google than websites that are not mobile-friendly. Now, when it comes to creating your website, you want to figure out your menu. And we'll look at your pages in a moment, but you want to make sure that it's easy to navigate your website. You don't want too many buttons. 8 or fewer is usually the sweet spot. And each section, each page should have a clear purpose. So if you have a music page, you put your music there. You have a store page, you put your store there. Some people try to cram a lot of stuff onto one page, but that makes it difficult to find. And you also want to keep the page name simple. So again, with your music page, if you call it music, the chances are somebody coming to your website, they'll find it quickly. You know, if you call it tunes or listen, sometimes people get confused. So I would always suggest keeping your page names simple, at least when you're starting. So these are the 8 essential sections that you will want to create with your website. And I say sections because we see some one-page websites now. Of course, these can also be multiple pages. It really depends on your content and how you want to build. But the concept is the same. These are all the important things you want to put on your website. So your home page, your about page, your music page. You want to have a shows page if you're playing live, a photos and or videos page, or you can combine those, a store page. A press kit is generally important for most musicians as well, and a contact page. So to build out your homepage, you want to gather these things: a great header image, a short bio, just a little introduction, your elevator pitch, music and or a video. You want to add a blog with latest news and your social media links. Another thing that's an important option for a homepage is a call to action. This directs people to something that you want them to do when they land on your website. So depending on your goal as a musician, maybe it's to book shows or get people to come and see you live. Maybe it's to buy your latest album or watch a video. Here's a quick example of a homepage. And she has some text on there that her new, I think it's a single, is available. This is another homepage. It doesn't have a call to action exactly, but this is a musician with multiple projects. So he's got everything listed clearly on his homepage, including his latest work and how to follow him on different streaming services. So next is the about page. A lot of musicians seem to get tripped up with the about page because it's very hard to write about yourself. It's hard to keep it up to date all the time, but it's very important. A lot of industry people will go to this page to figure out your full story. A lot of fans go to this page as well, sometimes to make sure they're in the right place, but sometimes just to learn all about you. So for that reason, you want to have a couple of different versions of your bio. A short one is great for press. The full bio is good for interest, and some photos just to sort of round out your story and to give people a fuller picture of who you are. When you're writing your bio, using a quote is a great way to kick things off, sort of an outside source talking about your music or perhaps your live show, whatever your most important thing is. You do want to mention your background, what brought you to where you are today, plus your education and your recent achievements, career highlights, things that have happened in the recent past. All of that should be on your about page. And you can design your about page. It doesn't have to be a huge immersive experience. It can be very simple. An image that tells your story. This example gives a nice sort of idea of what type of music that they play. And the blurb is short enough that it could easily be copy and pasted or spoken out loud if they're being introduced somewhere. If you do happen to go to this band's about page, it's really cool. They have different sections flowing down the page with more information. Your music page. This might be one of the most important pages on your website. So you want to do it justice. Add your songs. You can do a full discography if you like. Don't underestimate fans wanting to see your lyrics. So many people, go to their favorite musician's website in order to see the lyrics of their songs. You can offer a downloadable track for email on your music page. It's a nice way to get people who are interested in your music onto your mailing list. can also offer music for sale, especially if you have a recently available album, single, or EP. And another thing that I always like to see on music pages, which a lot of musicians sort of forget about or gloss over, is information about the albums. Fans are really interested in a bit of backstory, where it was recorded. Try to add that context. It also helps your website in Google. If somebody's searching for you, searching for your music, more text information is great to have. And this is a really great place to put it because it's relevant to your music. On your music page, you can add links to your streaming services if you do that. And if you're just starting out and you don't have an album yet, add a video, or perhaps you're building a website and you're a cover band, add videos, but you should still have a music page so people can check that out. Here's a quick example of a musician with a simple album. You can download it, you can share it, you can listen to her tracks, and you can see she's used some imagery that is quite consistent. So her album cover, she's probably got a photo shoot with multiple similar images, and she's using them throughout her website. So a shows page or events page. On this page, you'll put a calendar of events. You can add your live stream concerts if you're doing that, or your live shows, of course, and you can sell tickets directly through your website with Bandzoogle, or you can link to external ticketing sites as well. You can add show posters here, and I also really like to see on a shows page either photos or videos of live performance. Generally, people visiting a shows page are people who may be interested in coming to see you, especially maybe their friends mentioning they're going to see you. They don't know you, they'll check you out. Adding more information to this page, like a video, is a really great way to sort of show off what you can do and entice people to come and see your next show. So yeah, if you have a lot of shows, you can list them out. There's lots of different ways you can organize your shows page. You can do your traditional calendar, or this example, she's using a table. If you have less shows, you can also do a longer format with an image per show, but it sort of depends on where you're at. Photos page. Not a lot of musicians add photos as much as they used to. I think it's because a lot of people rush to put them on social media, but those all sort of get lost in the news feed. So it's nice to add your photos, perhaps from a concert, your promotional photos, even your candid photos, to a dedicated photos page, because people love looking at photos. And it's a nice way to keep people on your website and just get them exploring, get them to learn all about you, what you've done, who you are. And you can combine this with a videos page if you don't have many photos yet. So in this example, this is, I believe, a folk artist she's got this side set menu, which leaves her a lot of room for her content. And she's using this modern sort of Pinterest style gallery layout, which is really cool. And you can click into it and navigate through all the photos as well. Now for videos, if you have lots of videos, by all means, add a dedicated videos page. Similarly to photos, people love watching videos. You can embed videos quickly to your website from YouTube or other video services, which will give you plays on that service. So if you have your YouTube video on your website, 10 people watch it on your website, that play count is also going up in YouTube, which is nice. And you can also add context to your video page. You can assume that, or pretend that, somebody coming to your videos page maybe hasn't seen you play before. They don't know anything about, this particular video. So if it goes along with a single, or if it's been watched, a million times on YouTube, you can add that context. It just helps, again, with sort of building momentum and creating excitement for your music. And on your videos page, you can rotate out your videos regularly as well. Somebody asked me this recently, what the best number of videos is for a videos page. And there's no real correct answer. I would say 6, maybe at the most. When you think about mobile and somebody scrolling endlessly, you can add more for sure. But it's probably better just to rotate out your best ones, direct your fans to these ones that you want them to watch, and then swap them out as you like. So a store page, and a store page may not be necessary for all musicians. It depends on your goals. We have seen a lot of musicians, especially over the last couple of years, do a lot of sales through their website, through their store. So it's a great thing to add, even if you're not really sure if people will buy, they might. So with that in mind, if you want to add a store, make sure you describe all the items, add your images. If you do have, inventory in stock that you want to clear out, you can do that. You can list the different sizes and whatnot in your website store. But again, we've been seeing a lot of musicians selling print on demand merch. So it's listed in the store. You can set the price, and it's shipped out directly from Printful once a purchase is made. Here's a nice store page example of different options. Bundles are always popular, especially if you have a recent CD. You could do a poster, you could do a signed poster. This example, she is also selling coffee beans, you never know. But clothing's always popular, tank tops, t-shirts, and of course your music itself is a nice thing to offer in your store. Contact page. A lot of people just include a footer with contact information. That's an option. I generally suggest as a best practice, though, to include the word contact in your menu. A lot of people will go to your website to try to get in touch with you for a variety of reasons. And just having that word in the menu, people's eyes will gravitate towards it, especially if it's the last item. So I always recommend having it in your menu just for ease of use. And on your contact page itself, you can add an email form so somebody can get in touch with you. And you can always customize this form. So maybe you've seen people add forms if they're booking shows that ask for the date or the budget, that kind of thing. So you can customize the form to get more details as well. And it gets sent directly to the email address that you specify. So you can always specify a different email address if you'd like, maybe your booking address or something like that. I always suggest including a mailing list sign up form on the contact page as well. It's sort of your last chance to get people who are interested in you, interested in your music, to sign up there. Plus your social media links if people want to follow you or connect with you there as well. So the press kit is sort of a separate section here. I do recommend adding it as a page in your menu so that it's easy to find. But essentially a press kit is a digital version of what bands used to send out in a package to, book festivals, to book shows, to get radio play and that kind of thing. A press kit is basically an online resume for your career. This is where industry professionals can hear your music and find out everything they need to know about you condensed into one easily digestible page. So again, this is what your EPK should include: your band bio, your promotional images in different sizes, your music, plus a video. I always suggest adding your social and streaming links, just so people can sort of check out your full presence from here. Press reviews, if you have them, are great to add to your EPK, and your contact information on this page as well. It's hard to see a full EPK without scrolling, but here's a cute example with some images and quotes. And here's another one where she's included her press photos, which you can download by clicking, and then downloadable files. So this is a great way to include a ton of information that a venue or media might want in a PDF, which can be clicked and downloaded right from your press kit. So your bio, press quotes, a rider, a poster. You almost can't have too much information, but you have to condense it enough that it doesn't take people, 10 minutes to sort through your entire page. So we're coming to the end now, and I just thought I would speak quickly about SEO, which is search engine optimization. A lot of people tend to have questions about this. If it's not your thing, it is a little bit technical. So if it kind of all goes over your head, don't worry about it. With Bandzoogle, we have a lot of this built in under the hood. A lot of it is just clean code, creating menu pages, that sort of thing. But it does seem to be a big topic of interest. So I thought I would cover a few search engine best practices for you. Basically, it amounts to optimizing your band's presence in search engines. So if someone Googles you, your website comes up as the first result, which is a really important thing to do if you want your website to be that sort of official, professional hub for your music online. And actually, if I go back here, you can see on the right, all of this stuff on the side is called a knowledge panel, and often it is pulled from your website directly. A blurb about you. Sometimes it comes from Wikipedia as well, if you have that entry, but a lot of musicians don't. However, the more you put on your website and position it as your main hub, let's say, it tells Google about you. Here's their YouTube channel, here's their Spotify channel, and so on. So if you want to think about SEO, here's a quick checklist you can do. Keywords that you want to rank for. So possibly your band name and your location. Could be easy as that, or your band name plus the word music, that kind of thing. You want to make sure that you add content to your band website. It sounds silly, but I see a lot of websites that are just images and songs, and people don't think to add that context, add that extra information. And a lot of what Google does is searches the web for text. So the more text on your website, within reason, the better. And then you want to set up your custom domain name. So your bandname.com, and it should include HTTPS, which is fairly standard. And with Bandzoogle, we include that automatically. It's a security certificate. Here are a few tips to optimize your website content. And again, if you use Bandzoogle, a lot of this is built in. You type in your page name, that becomes the title tag. You can add a description for every page. So you just want to make sure that Google knows that your music page is about you and your music. But if you don't add anything, it might not know, especially if you don't have text on the page. So make sure every page includes text. You also want to add text to your images. If you click on them under the hood, a lot of website platforms, you can just type in what you see in the picture. So for example, if an image doesn't load for some reason, you might have seen, a little caption that says musician performing on stage or something like that, but you want to be specific, include your name and that sort of thing. And then you want to make sure that each page of your website has a descriptive URL. So that kind of goes back to the navigation best practice, which is name your music page music. So then if someone Googles Melanie Keeley music, Google looks, they see I have a page called music, they're going to return that result. And then finally, you want to get links. So you post your website link to social media, you post your social media links on your website. And if you have friends or fans or venues where you're playing, try to get them to link to your official band website as well. The last thing here is just setting up Google Analytics to measure visits. That's the fan data that we looked at, and submitting your sitemap once it's complete. So that basically tells Google the name of all your pages. I know this is a lot. There's a ton to cover. However, we have this resource. It's a full guide on how to build a music website. So instead of listening to a video, or if you were taking notes, if you visit this, it's a blog post on our website. It'll walk you through a lot of these points in even more detail, what to add to which page, design tips, and that sort of thing. It can be a bit tricky to know what to do first. Should I create a design? Then do I add my bio? This will help sort of walk you through what to do and in what order. If you just want to build an EPK, or if you want to add an EPK to your website, we have another nice resource, how to build an EPK for your music. And if you Google these terms, we should come up for them, and you can click through and it'll walk you through how to do all of that. So that's it pretty much for my discussion on website best practices. If you do need a website, feel free to use this promo code at bandzoogle.com. It will give you a 3-month trial. You can build out your website, ask all the questions you need of the support team. We have tons of resources on the Bandzoogle blog to help you through everything. And again, the support team is wonderful in fielding any questions about best practices, or does this look good, or, you know, should I choose a different template? They're always happy to help. And hopefully you found this helpful as well, whether you're getting started or whether, you know, you want to give your website a revamp now that you're starting to book shows again, or book music students, or, you know, what have you, sort of forging your path going forward in music. So thank you so much. And if there's any questions, I'm happy to try to address them. I know it was a lot of information.
Yeah, thank you, Melanie. That was awesome. I did put the link for the promo code. The Bandzoogle promo code is in the chat.
Excellent.
So if anybody wants to do that, thanks for your comment there, Scott. So yeah, if there's any questions for Melanie, I can kind of monitor the chat room, or if you want to just unmute yourself and jump in, that's cool too.
Hey, Melanie, this is Jacob. I got here a little late, but I am a CD Baby user, and I think I'm also on Bandzoogle, and I'm going to go to the site and take a look at everything. Is this going to be did you make a recording of this, or should I just go to the site and I probably can get the information there, huh?
This is recorded, and so when it's all said and done, it will be on the Minnesota Music Coalition YouTube channel. But it like the Zoom takes a while for it to download, and then I have to put it up on YouTube. So, you know, in the next couple of days, you can
totally
check it out.
Totally cool. And then, oh, sorry, one other question, since I'm taking up space here. Melanie, have you ever had any issues with loading something onto YouTube, or it's such a, maybe this is too specific, but I have an old account as Beatrix Jar with an old email attached to it, and then I've got a new version through the CD Baby Bandzoogle thing, and I'm trying to merge those two together, but they've never been successfully put together. And it's, you know, there's a point of frustration where we keep trying and trying and trying, and just, it's like radio silence, you know, and I think that's a question in there somewhere. But have you had issues with a big thing and not being able to contact the specific thing?
Do you mean you have an old website account, like with the .com that you're trying to merge?
No, it's more complicated. It's an old YouTube channel, and I don't have the login anymore. It's associated with an old email, so I can't physically log into it. And I'm trying to merge it to a new YouTube channel and just put those together and make it one YouTube channel or something.
Oh, yeah,
I know.
That sounds
silly,
really tricky.
very complicated.
Yeah.
All right.
That's okay. You know, it's funny because, yeah, my husband was quite active on YouTube for a while, and I think he got locked out of his too. But I mean, to be honest, I think the solution is you have to get into that old email. Unless you had a backup email of some kind on there, you know? Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank
but
you.
If you
for that bitter truth, my friend. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's tricky. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, any further questions?
I just covered everything. It was so much.
Yeah, we're good to go. Yeah, we'll see you at the Grammys, Melanie. Thanks.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, appreciate your time, and yeah, thanks to everybody for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing some new websites coming online soon. And yeah, thanks everybody. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon, and we'll see you next time.
Great. Thanks for having me. Bye, everyone.
All right,
Thank
thanks,
you.
Melanie.
Bye.
I think, Melanie, you may have to
I'm the host, right?
stop the meeting. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, bye for real.